morning, student. Welcome to the class. I am teaching you same chapter, chapter 10, light and shadow. In the previous class, dear student, I have explained you about the light. That light is a form of energy. Light enables us to see the objects and light travel in a straight line. When any object come in the way of the light rays, the lights reflect. So, then after I have explained you about the sources of light. There are two types of sources. One is artificial source of light and natural source of light. Artificial source of lights are created by man. For example, torch, bulb, candles. Okay. Now, sources of light are of two types. First one is artificial are created by men. Examples are bulb, torch, then natural source of light. The second one is natural source of light. Natural source of lights are the light that are created by naturally. The examples are star, lightning, sun, lightning, fire. These are the natural source of light. Then I have explained you about the objects, how the objects are there that are luminous and non-luminous objects. Luminous object. What are luminous objects? The objects which emits light of their own. Luminous objects are the objects which emits light of their own, like star and fire, sun. These all are the example. Sun, fire, stars. Then non-luminous object. Non-luminous objects are those objects which do not emit light of their own. Objects, the objects which do not emit light of their own. For example, stone, books, table, stone, books, table, wall. Very good. Are the example of non-luminous objects. Now dear student, today I am going to explain you about the types of objects. This is the revision which I have taught in the previous video. Now, the types of objects. According or amount of light that particular object allowed to pass through it. They are divided into three types. What are types of objects? According to the light passed through an object, that object allow that this light should be passed from me or not. According or basis on that, the objects are divided into three types. The first one is, which one? Yes, you can tell. First one is transparent object. Good. First one is transparent object. Transparent objects. Objects that allow light to pass through it are called transparent object. Object which allow light to pass through it. Examples are clear water, clear glass. These are the best example of transparent object. Transparent polythenes are there by which you can see the other side of it. Now the second one is translucent object. Yes, second one is translucent object. Translucent objects are the objects that particularly allows light to pass through it, like honey, vegetable oil, scale. From the scale you can see the side one, but light can pass through it. Transparent white scale which are using in the class, that one. You can use transparent water bottles. Cold drink water bottles are there. Cold drink bottles are there which are like Coke, and they are look like transparent, but they are translucent because they allowed some light to pass through it. Then opaque object. The third one, the third type of object is opaque object. Opaque objects are the objects that do not allow light to pass through it, like wood, like your walls, like your body, stone. These are the objects that do not allow light to pass through it. Yes, you can say book is an example of an opaque object because it cannot pass the light through it. Okay. Now, after learning about the types of objects that are transparent, translucent and opaque objects, we learn about the shadow. What is a shadow? When a light falls on an opaque object, we see a dark area on the other side of the object. This dark area is called the shadow. Okay? Now, let's see how the shadow is formed. I'm taking your class book and a torch. This is your class book and a torch. When I place this book over here and put a torch light on this book, you are able to see a shadow is forming on the wall. This dark area which is coming on the wall is known as shadow. When the light falls on the book, the book is an opaque object and the light is not passing through it, and that is why a shadow is forming on the wall. Okay? Now, you can define a shadow as shadow is a dark area or shape produced by a body between the rays of light and a surface. Shadow. We can define shadow as a shadow is a dark area or shape. As you are able to see that a dark shadow is forming on the wall. So a dark area or shape of a book is forming on the wall. So a shadow is a dark area or shape produced by a body. That book is the body coming between rays of light. When I place a torch on the book, then a shadow is forming and a surface. As I place a torch on the book, this is a light rays. This is the body. When I place a right ray of light on the body, a dark area is producing between the body and the surface, and this is known as shadow. Thank you, students.